Chapter 10. Guest Communication and Hospitality. Welcome to Chapter 10 of the Guide to Short-Term Rental Management. Having explored the backbone of smart operations and workflow efficiencies in our previous chapter, we now turn to the heart of our industry, guest communication and hospitality. All the systems and technologies we implement are ultimately in service of creating exceptional guest experiences. In the competitive short-term rental market, outstanding hospitality and clear, empathetic communication are what transform a simple stay into a memorable experience, leading to glowing reviews, repeat bookings, and a thriving business. This chapter will focus on best practices for interacting with guests at every stage of their journey. The guest experience begins long before they step foot in your property. It starts from the moment they book, and pre-arrival messaging plays a crucial role in setting expectations and building a positive foundation for their stay. Well-crafted pre-arrival communication can significantly reduce guest anxiety, provide them with all the essential information they need for a smooth arrival, manage their expectations to align with the reality of the property and its amenities, and minimize the likelihood of issues or repetitive questions on their arrival day. Effective pre-arrival communication is not about sending one massive information dump just before check-in. It is better approached as a carefully timed series of messages. The timing and frequency of these messages should be strategic. For instance, an initial message immediately upon booking confirmation should welcome the guest and verify their reservation details. About a week before their arrival, a message could provide more general information about the area or prompt them for any special requests. Then, about 3 days out, more specific details about the property and check-in can be shared. A final, concise message on the day before or the morning of arrival can serve as a friendly reminder and provide any last-minute updates. The key information to include in these pre-arrival messages is important for a seamless experience. Naturally, you will want to reconfirm the booking details. Providing the full property address along with detailed directions is essential, especially if the property is tricky to find. Include tips for navigation or landmarks if helpful. Clearly state the check-in time and thoroughly explain the check-in procedure, even if it is a contactless process. Guests need to know exactly what to expect. Parking information, including where to park and any costs or restrictions, is often a major point of concern for guests arriving by car. Ensuring timely and secure delivery of access codes for smart locks or lockboxes is important for smooth operations. While some prefer to provide Wi-Fi details in this pre-arrival communication, others mention that it will be clearly displayed inside the property. It is also wise to gently reiterate a few key house rules, such as policies on no smoking or quiet hours, to manage expectations up front. Briefly mentioning what essential items are provided versus what guests might want to bring can also help manage expectations regarding consumables or specialized items. Providing some curated local area information, perhaps a few highlights or a link to your comprehensive digital guidebook, can add value and build excitement. And of course, always include clear emergency contact information for your management team should they encounter any issues upon arrival. The tone and style of your pre-arrival messages should be consistently professional, yet friendly, welcoming, and concise. Avoid jargon and ensure the information is easy to understand. As we discussed in previous chapters, automation tools, often found within your property management system or specialized guest messaging platforms, are invaluable for scheduling and personalizing these pre-arrival communications, ensuring every guest receives the right information without manual intervention from your team. In today's short-term rental landscape, contactless check-ins have become increasingly popular, offering convenience for guests and operational efficiencies for property managers. However, contactless should not mean impersonal. This can be balanced with thoughtful concierge options, whether digital or through personalized add-on services, to enhance the guest experience. Contactless check-in essentially means that guests can access the property upon arrival without needing to meet a member of your team in person to collect keys. There are several common methods to facilitate this. Smart locks that use unique, time-sensitive codes for each guest are a popular and secure option. Traditional lockboxes with a combination code also work well. In some urban areas, key cafe services or secure key exchange points can be utilized. The benefits of contactless check-in are numerous. It offers significant guest convenience, as they can typically arrive at any time after the designated check-in hour without worrying about coordinating a meeting time. For property managers, it creates substantial operational efficiency by eliminating the need to schedule and manage in-person key handoffs, which can be particularly challenging with uncertain guest arrival times or for geographically dispersed properties. In recent times, it has also offered an element of enhanced safety and social distancing. The key to a successful contactless check-in experience lies in providing exceptionally clear, step-by-step instructions to the guest beforehand, often supplemented with photos or even short videos if the process has multiple steps. Having effective contingency plans in place is also important. Guests must have a way to reach your team 24/7 for immediate support if, for example, an access code does not work or they have trouble locating the lockbox. While contactless check-in streamlines the arrival process, concierge options can add layers of service and hospitality to elevate the guest's stay. The purpose of offering these is to enhance the overall guest experience, provide added value beyond just the accommodation itself, and in some cases, create opportunities for ancillary revenue. A digital concierge is a common and highly effective approach. This often takes the form of a comprehensive digital guidebook accessible via a mobile app or a web link, containing detailed property information like appliance instructions, curated local recommendations such as restaurants, attractions, and activities, answers to frequently asked questions, and emergency contact details. Some digital concierge solutions can also integrate with AI-powered chatbots to provide automated responses to common guest questions received via messaging platforms. You might also include links for guests to easily book local tours, make restaurant reservations, or arrange other services, potentially through affiliate partnerships that could generate a small commission. Beyond digital offerings, some property managers offer more personalized concierge services, particularly for higher-end properties, or as an optional add-on service. This could include arranging for grocery delivery pre-arrival so the kitchen is stocked when guests walk in, booking transportation such as airport transfers, making restaurant reservations at popular local spots, or organizing spa treatments. For special occasions, you might offer to arrange for amenities like flowers, champagne, or birthday cakes to be in the property upon arrival. The key is to balance automation with a personal touch. Even with fully contactless procedures, ensuring that guests know they can easily reach a responsive and helpful human being for support or local advice is paramount to true hospitality. Despite your best efforts to provide a flawless experience, the reality of managing short-term rentals means that guest complaints are, at some point, inevitable. Issues can arise, from minor inconveniences to more significant problems. How you handle these complaints is a defining moment for your professionalism and can greatly impact the guest's overall perception of their stay and the review they ultimately leave. Having a systematic and empathetic approach to dealing with guest complaints is therefore essential. The first step is to have a clear process for handling complaints. Many successful hospitality professionals use a variation of the LEAR method or a similar structured approach. This begins with listen. When a guest raises a complaint, whether it is via a phone call, a message, or in person if applicable, let them voice their concerns completely. The next step is to empathize. Acknowledge their feelings and express genuine understanding of their frustration or disappointment. Phrases like, "I can understand why that would be frustrating," can go a long way. Then, offer a sincere apology. Apologize for the inconvenience or dissatisfaction they are experiencing. This is important even if the issue was not directly or entirely your fault. For example, a temporary power outage affecting the neighborhood still impacts their stay. The core of the process is to resolve or rectify the issue. Take prompt and appropriate action to fix the problem. This will vary greatly depending on the nature of the complaint. It might involve immediately sending your maintenance team to fix a broken appliance, arranging for a re-clean if cleanliness standards were missed, offering to move the guests to another unit if one is available, and the issue is severe and unresolvable in their current property. or offering a partial refund or some other form of compensation if appropriate for the level of inconvenience caused. Finally, notify and follow up. And importantly, learn. Keep the guest informed of the steps you are taking to address their complaint and the expected timeline. Once the issue has been resolved, follow up with them to ensure they are satisfied with the solution. Internally, it is important to document every complaint and the actions taken. Use each complaint as a learning opportunity to identify any patterns or areas where your services or property standards can be improved to prevent similar issues from recurring. It's also beneficial to empower your frontline staff, whether they are guest service agents or even your cleaners and maintenance team if they interact with guests, with some level of authority to resolve minor issues on the spot, if appropriate. This can lead to quicker resolutions and higher guest satisfaction. Throughout the entire process, documentation of all complaints, communications, and resolutions is essential for your records and for any potential future disputes. Remember, a well-handled complaint where a guest feels heard, respected, and sees that you have made a genuine effort to make things right can sometimes turn a negative situation into a surprisingly positive impression, occasionally resulting in an even more loyal guest than if nothing had gone wrong at all. In the digital age of travel, your online reputation, largely shaped by guest reviews, is one of your most valuable assets. Positive reviews heavily influence booking decisions on platforms like Airbnb, Vrbo, Booking.com, and Google, while negative reviews can significantly deter potential guests. Therefore, proactive reputation management, which includes diligently monitoring and thoughtfully responding to reviews, is a critical component of successful short-term rental management. The first step is to actively monitor your reviews. This means regularly checking all the platforms where your properties are listed for any new reviews that have been posted. Many property management systems or specialized reputation management tools can provide alerts when new reviews appear, helping you stay on top of this. When you receive positive reviews, do not just ignore them. Take the time to respond. Thank the guest for their positive feedback and for choosing to stay at your property. If you can, personalize the response by mentioning something specific from their review or their stay. You can also use this opportunity to politely invite them back for a future visit. Responding to positive reviews shows that you are engaged, appreciative, and value your guests' feedback. Handling negative reviews requires a more careful and strategic approach. It is natural to feel defensive, especially if a review seems unfair, but a public, argumentative response will almost always reflect poorly on your business. Timeliness is important. Aim to respond promptly, showing that you are attentive. Maintain an unwavering professionalism in your tone. Keep it calm, polite, and constructive, no matter how critical the review. Begin by acknowledging their experience and empathizing with their dissatisfaction. Express regret that their stay did not meet their expectations or your usual standards. If appropriate, you can briefly and factually address specific issues they raised, particularly if there seems to be a misunderstanding or if you need to politely correct a significant inaccuracy, but do so without being accusatory. Where applicable, highlight any positive aspects or mention any actions that were taken to resolve the issue during their stay, or steps you have implemented to prevent it from happening again. For very complex issues, or with particularly irate guests, it is often best to take the conversation offline by offering to discuss the matter further privately via phone or email. Remember, your response to a negative review is not just for that one guest. It is also a message to all future potential guests who will be reading those reviews. A thoughtful, professional response can demonstrate your commitment to guest satisfaction even when things go wrong. Beyond responding to reviews as they come in, you should also proactively but politely request reviews from your guests. This can often be done effectively using automated post-stay messages, as discussed earlier, gently encouraging them to share their feedback about their experience. Finally, be aware of the policies of each booking platform regarding dealing with fake or malicious reviews. While it can often be difficult to have reviews removed, understanding the reporting process for reviews that clearly violate platform policies, such as containing hate speech or being clearly for the wrong property, is important. Acquiring new guests can be costly and time-consuming. One of the most effective strategies for sustainable growth and increased profitability in the short-term rental business is turning first-time guests into repeat customers. Repeat guests are incredibly valuable. They are often more cost-effective to attract than new guests, as you bypass online travel agency commissions if they book direct, and your direct marketing costs are lower. They already know your properties or your brand and have a level of trust established. Furthermore, repeat guests often tend to be lower impact and more respectful of house rules as they value the relationship. The absolute foundation for encouraging repeat bookings is providing an excellent guest experience during their initial stay. If guests have a fantastic, seamless, and memorable experience, they are far more likely to want to return. Beyond this fundamental requirement, there are several proactive strategies you can employ. Effective post-stay communication is a good starting point. A personalized thank you note or email shortly after their departure can leave a lasting positive impression. Thoughtful special offers or discounts specifically for past guests can be a powerful incentive. This could be part of a simple loyalty program, or you might offer them early bird access to book popular dates or new properties you add to your portfolio. Email marketing, conducted with prior guest consent in compliance with data privacy regulations, can be a valuable tool. You can send out periodic newsletters to your past guest list, perhaps featuring updates on your properties, highlighting interesting local events or attractions, or sharing special seasonal promotions. Making personalized touches for returning guests can also make them feel valued and appreciated. If your system allows you to track guest preferences or previous stay details, acknowledging their return with a small welcome back gift or a note referencing their last visit can be very effective. This requires maintaining a database of past guests, ideally within a customer relationship management system or your property management system, where you can track their stay history, preferences, and communication. Whenever possible, try to encourage past guests to book direct for their next stay. You can offer them a slight discount or added value for booking directly through your website, which saves both you and them the commission fees charged by online travel agencies. Finally, always strive to maintain consistently high standards. If a guest returns for a second or third stay, they will expect the experience to be just as good as, if not better than, their first. Consistency in quality and service is key to fostering long-term loyalty. This completes Chapter 10. We have explored the art and science of guest communication and hospitality, from setting clear pre-arrival expectations and managing check-ins to skillfully handling complaints, managing your online reputation through review responses, and nurturing relationships to turn first-time visitors into loyal repeat customers. In Chapter 11, we will shift our focus to the critical financial strategy of dynamic pricing and revenue management.